if you do, or, deep seek, to be honest, deep seek reasoning is also, the Chinese models are quite good also, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm not gonna, but just to give you an idea, I do vibe evals. This is what I told Alex. We can do vibe evals through the interface. You basically brainstorm and have it write, in my case, Python. And then the output is sort of some strategies, right? Can you guys see my screen here? So I start writing, I have it write with me some strategies. And so what are we looking for? So you have to have a clear idea of what you're evaluating on. You have to say, so for me, I want to have interpretations of the I-Ching with emotional depth in a particular style. DFW is David Foster Wallace. He's on YouTube. He killed himself in the early 2000s. Great writer. Look him up. He's got some great college sort of those college talks. He gave a pretty good one about recognizing, like, being in water, recognizing that, anyway, look him up. So and the other idea that I wanted to introduce to you guys is something called the Pareto Frontier. So a Pareto Frontier is basically axes of evaluation. So for example, I love Dai Pai Dong, okay? Dai Pai Dong, best flavor and very inexpensive. So those are like the axes of how I evaluate food. I don't really care about tablecloth and service. Okay, so like how nice the place is, how good the service is, how good the food is, and how cheap it is. Those could be the 4 Pareto Frontiers of food, for example. And Dai Pai Dong would be at the Pareto Frontier, in my opinion, of taste and it being inexpensive. For here, when we're doing an evaluation, you should have a clear idea of the axes of evaluation. And so, for example, you would have, mundane things like latency and cost. But for me, I also had things like how good was their native Chinese. So my app supports traditional and simplified Chinese. How good is their Chinese support? How good is their Thai support? I also have Thai script support. I don't know why no one uses the Thai, but it's in there. So it's in there. And then maybe the most important for me is, do the readings have an emotional impact? When someone reads them, will they remember the lessons? And is the model skilled at drawing analogies? Okay, Wilko, question.
Yeah, I'm just being so polite to raise my hands. Thanks for this. Just wondering, because I think a lot of these things like latency, costs, etc., they're very objective, very measurable. But once you start talking about emotional depth or things that are very subjective, you're letting the LLM select the best possible result, right? So how does it do that? How do you measure something that tends to be a bit subjective?
That's right. Those vibes. So basically, what I do with let's see if we can have some more information. What you're looking for, what I have it do is actually when it does the report for me, it gives me winners on specific axes of evaluation or Pareto Frontiers, and one of them is emotional depth, and it says, hey, so Wilko's curious, hey, why is Sonnet and Haiku so good? Is it just being biased because I'm using Claude to do the evaluation? What I always do is when I have it write the report, I say, for each model that you're writing, that you're going to write this report for me on, I want a snippet of the response that you're basing it on. Mm-hmm. And then I want you to give the reasoning. And then you have to check it. There's always going to be a double check. You can't trust the model on its own. Okay, Alexander, boom, done. What's going on?
So is in this case, is Claude Code querying the API, or is it that you've got these outputs already stored and then it's running analysis on outputs you've already?
It's running
You've
it.
already
So
generated.
basically, what it does, it's going through. You see all these JSON files? It's like it's calling it. It's going through the JSON and then creating the markdowns for me, and then I'm having it sort of create the report for me with snippets, and then I read the snippets, and then I read the reasoning, and then I agree or disagree with the reasoning, and then yeah.
Do you know, like, this might be getting like is it doing that in like one single context window? Like, is it evaluating the different models in one context window, or are they kind of like separate calls? Because what I'm wondering is, like, could previous like data